Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Gabbin with Gavin. I'm your host, Gavin Broniker. This week, I'm sitting down with one of my teammates, Nolan Pender. He's a grad student here at Bellarmine. He's gone through a couple different roles with the Bellarmine University baseball team, but one of his most consistent roles is that as team leader. We're going to talk to him a little bit about that, as well as his years that he spent here at Bellarmine and what he's looking forward to as he moves on from Bellarmine University. So without further ado, Nolan Pender.
Start with Steenstra. And he gets him. Strike three swinging. 0-2 start with Blake Burke. 2 outs in the inning. The shift is on, and Burke swings through a fastball, 91 miles an hour, back-to-back punch-outs for Nolan Pender.
Pender, it's nice to have you on, man.
Yeah, it's great to be here.
Yeah, thank you. So I mentioned in my intro a little bit about the fact that you've gone through a number of different roles. Obviously, coming in as a freshman, you were seen as a reliever, and then sophomore year had that role as well. But then as the season progressed, you started to go into a starter's role. Is that something you always envisioned? Did you always want to be in that starting role?
I ended up working my way into the starting role, and it was enjoyable. It gave me an opportunity to go out and pitch and try to help the team win. And, going into this year, hearing that I'm going back to the bullpen, it's definitely a big change. But like I said, it's just looking for a way to help the team win. So, I think our last couple of weeks I've started to get more opportunities going in the back end of the bullpen to kind of help save the game. And it's been nice. It's been helpful to see results and be successful.
For sure. So you are one of the only people left on the team that experienced level of Division II baseball as well as Division I baseball. Obviously, Bellarmine University at the Division II level was one of the better teams in the conference, and then you go your sophomore year, first year at Division I. The expectations, I imagine, are quite a bit different, going from D2. So can you just talk about some of the expectation changes that you've seen over the years?
Well, the first year switching to Division I, we honestly had a little too high expectations.
For sure.
I think we were a really strong Division II program and kind of expected that to carry over. And some of the changes are things that you don't really think about. I'd say the average pitcher we faced was 86, 88 miles an hour, and now we're seeing more arms that are running it up to low to mid 90s. And I know that doesn't sound like a big difference in the numbers, but when you're a hitter, that 5 miles an hour is
absolutely
a huge change. So see a lot more of that. Guys start to struggle more, and you just make adjustments every year. You bring in new guys, people start to get used to playing. Everybody has their ups and downs, but as long as you can come out, it's baseball at the end of the day.
For sure.
Whether it's Division II or Division I, you just gotta try to win all the games.
Absolutely. One of the big changes from that Division II to Division I era is you lost a pretty key piece in Brandon Fott. You guys did have him and quite a staff going into that 2020 season, which obviously, unfortunately, was cut short. I think a lot of people, just talking to people from the team, it kind of felt like that team had a lot of energy going into the season that might be able to repeat as champions. But can you talk about how you try to fill a void that somebody like that, obviously you can't replace him with one person, but trying to replace the production that you got from Brandon Fott, and also a little bit about, learning from him as a freshman?
Yeah, I think trying to replace is kind of you can't really replace the guy, but you can replace the mindset. You kind of pick up on the things that he teaches just through, it's not really even like taught, you just watch him pitch and you realize the confidence and just going out there every day, and he wants to play, he's ready to have the ball, and trying to pick up on that and instill that in all of our guys, because it's easy to go out there and be nervous. We play some really good teams, and you hear about so-and-so's leading the nation in home runs,
for sure,
doing whatever, and then you got to pitch them the same way. You got to be confident, and that's something that Brandon does really well. I mean, you can see it through how he pitched in the playoffs last year.
Absolutely.
It doesn't matter the challenge; he's ready for it, and I think that's something that all of our guys try to replicate.
Yeah, and then obviously you talk a little bit about that, like as you for yourself, you changed through a bunch of roles, but now being in that closer role, that so much of it relies on confidence. You're pitching in the most pressure situations in the game. As a starter, you can have a little bit more of a relaxed mentality. Obviously, you want to go out there and perform the best you can, but as a closer, like every single pitch weighs on you a little bit. So do you kind of try to keep that in mind, just having that confidence and trying to even keel in those situations?
Yeah, it's a lot about confidence, and for me, I kind of realized going throughout the year, it's a lot about just staying calm. You know, as a starter, you get more chances to mess up. I feel like when you're coming in late in the game, or especially there's been times I come in with bases loaded and one or no outs, and you just gotta stay calm and not let the situation be bigger than you.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
If you can keep yourself in it and just, I've said it a couple of times, but stay positive and just know that you can get out of it, then that's all it takes.
And one thing that I think probably has helped you quite a bit is the experience. You're the most experienced person, definitely on the pitching side of the things, but overall on the team, I think that the most innings played by any of the players still on this team. How can that experience really help you in the roles that you are using right now, and then also now going forward in your career?
Well, you know, you get the experience, and it kind of just, things come back. You see situations, and they like to repeat themselves. You know, baseball is, at the end of the day, it's going to be the same game every time. You know, different challenges for each game, but a lot of stuff comes together. And I think that experience kind of helps you understand that when situations start to look out of hand, they can reel back really quickly. You know, you get a few guys on when you're pitching, and you see once or twice that you can get a pop out or get a strikeout, and then a double play happens, and then it goes back to that confidence. You
Absolutely.
have that in your head that you can make it through the end.
Yeah.
Just through experience, it kind of all comes together.
Yeah, I think people oftentimes will say, like, how do you have confidence without results? And it's like kind of a one-way thing. How do you have results without confidence? And so, yeah, I think that that's certainly a big thing, especially in sports, but also in baseball particularly. So we've talked a little bit about some of your fluctuating roles, but one of the roles that you've maintained over the past 2 years is as team leader. That's something that's elected by the players. It's not something that's coach interfered or anything like that. It's all from the players. So what kind of respect is that? What does that mean exactly to you, that the players have that respect for you and they view you as a leader?
It means a lot. You know, it's nice to have guys kind of come to me asking questions. I feel like that's kind of the biggest thing that comes out of it. You know, whether it's trying to figure out what we're doing day by day or just advice about the game. You know, I've been here for a long time, and I know a lot about baseball and Bellarmine baseball particularly. You know, it hasn't been the best past few years for results, but you kind of have to get an understanding of how to lose at times. You know, obviously you need to know how to win, but those losses can weigh on you. So it's really nice to kind of have someone that you can talk to or kind of console in, and being able to lead and kind of help guys understand that things will get better it's been a big part of the role.
Yeah. I assume that this year that role has been a little bit more prominent with the fact that there's 20-some new guys. In the years past, for the most part, turnover is relatively similar, and guys kind of had that understanding of, you know, just different situations and how to perform. But now we've got a lot of guys coming in, experiencing college baseball for the first time, experiencing Division I baseball for the first time. How has the role changed for you from just last year to this year?
I feel like it's a lot of reminders for things that you typically tell the younger guys that are new to it. So it's things like showing up to the field. You don't wear your jersey to the field. You know, you got to wear your practice shirt so it stays ready for the game. And, you know, understanding how the hotel works, how travel is, and trying to keep everybody respectful and understanding that when we're on the road that we're a team and we're out in public. People are going to look at us. You know, it's a lot of bigger guys and people that kind of stand out. So you got to keep yourself in check. So it's a lot of kind of doing that and just trying to manage all of our guys to be as good as they can.
So you're in the grad program now. You graduated last year. Obviously, whenever you're an undergrad student, you have a couple more hours and more classes that may not be necessarily geared to your major, but that accumulates quite a bit of work, especially whenever you have baseball going on as well. Can you talk a little bit about what it's like now in the grad program where you're focusing on something a little bit more centered and specific while still juggling time as being an athlete?
Yeah, I feel like the biggest change with at least our grad program from undergrad is kind of learning how to balance it through working with the team. You know, obviously we have a lot of larger projects and presentations and things along that line, so it's kind of trying to figure out, okay, we have games Tuesday through the weekend, trying to find a time that I can meet with the team and we can plan out projects and still manage to get my work done, because most of the time, if you're doing work, it's after games on the weekend.
For sure.
And most other people are not spending their Friday night trying to work on a project or wanting to meet. So just trying to find that balance of time and making everything work with a group.
One final question that I have for you. So obviously the goal for you, I assume, for as long as you can remember, has been to go on and play professional baseball. How do you feel that your time at Bellarmine has tried to help you and push you in that direction to then go and succeed at the higher levels?
I feel like Bellarmine has given me as many opportunities as it can to pitch and to be in high pressure situations and to show that I can be successful. And I just hope that I can do well enough in those situations to be able to get an opportunity. You know, obviously it's a very small percentage of people that get to go on and play professional ball. So just hoping I can get any chance that I can.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Awesome. Well, I really appreciate you coming on here. I wish you the best of luck, both for the remainder of this season as well as going forward in your career.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I hope you all enjoyed this week's episode of Gabbin with Gavin. If you guys want to check out Nolan and the rest of the Bellarmine baseball nights, there's only a couple more opportunities to do so. So check out the schedule, see when they're home, and come catch a game, support the team. Next week will be the final episode for Gabbin with Gavin. I do have a very special guest lined up, so make sure you look out for that. Thank you all. Have a great week.